Welcome back to Studio Friends, and Hot Toys have been on a little bit of a prequel streak. Now they're releasing Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Mustafar version. They have the promo photos, so let's go and take a look. All right, so straight away they got everything it comes with. That is pretty standard. That base is obviously going to be the big selling point here, but let's go a little bit further. There he is right here in the famous scene when he's yelling at Anakin at the Battle of Mustafar. I do like the battle damage robes. Battle damage, they're just worn and weathered, as they should be. There's very rarely, Jedi's robes are completely pristine, like how Hot Toys have been having them. So I definitely prefer this look in terms of just the weathering, because the weathering is not too heavy-handed, where it kind of just looks like day-to-day weathering, and for me, that just looks better. And you know me, I love it on a gray little background here, because it just looks like a costume test they do for films. I think overall he looks pretty good. The costume looks a little frumpy. It looks there's little bulging places where it probably shouldn't be, and it should be draped a little better. But overall, the weathering looks great. Standard, Obi-Wan pose, especially with that hand reaching out. He's not doing this, but close enough. Yeah, outfit's looking good. Tailoring's looking good. Proportions are looking half decent. I know there's a little bit of controversy with this head sculpt, which we'll get into as soon as we get a little close up here. But there he is, iconic Obi-Wan pose. Yeah, that stand honestly makes the figure a whole lot better than I think it actually is. Like if it just had a regular base, this figure no one would really care too much about. I think it's actually great. This looks like a good photo. I know the controversy with the head sculpt is they basically reused the Clone Wars head sculpt and just kind of gave it different paint applications. I do think that head sculpt has a half decent likeness. I'd say most people, just casual prequel fans or just Star Wars fans or non-collectors of Hot Toys would see this and it would blow them away. They'd be like, oh my God, this thing looks real. But, avid Hot Toys fans, they know right away. They're like, that's the Clone Wars head sculpt. You guys have gotten lazy. And you're not wrong. I think it is a little lazy, especially for such an important figure like Obi-Wan. The head sculpt does look good though. Realistically, it's not amazing, and obviously fans who probably would pre-order this probably already have a Clone Wars Obi-Wan or have other different Obi-Wans, and they just want a brand new sculpt because it's something that they've already received previously. But here he is, looking at the sculpt. I get the mustache thing. The mustache to mouth does look a little off. It kind of just looks like one big upper lip almost, because it's almost the same color as his lips. But for me, I think the biggest letdown is like the half-ass Artisan version, like just having the bangs, the wool hair. Like that's not going to age well. That's going to age terribly. Even here you can kind of tell the coloring is off, and like the sculpted hair is way more crisp and defined versus the wool hair, which almost looks blurry. It's almost like someone put a blur mask or a blur filter on top of the bangs and not on the rest of the hair. And even when it comes to dust, for example, I don't have a dust-proof display. The dust on the wool hair will stick more than it would on the plastic hair. So yeah, just if you're gonna go Artisan, go full Artisan. If you're gonna go sculpted, go full sculpted. This weird mix between the two, it's just not gonna age well at all. I really the only way this would work is if it was Superman and you just did the curl. But having half the bangs wool just looks ridiculous. Here, this is a great shot. Obviously, this figure is almost more of an accessory than it is an actual figure, if that makes sense. Like, he's an accessory to Anakin. So if you're buying Anakin, the Mustafar version, you almost have to buy Obi-Wan. Like, that's just like a complete display. And I know a lot of Hot Toys fans are completionists, and they're gonna buy this, even if they don't like the head sculpt. But that's just, that's us. That's Star Wars nerds. Yeah, like them two together, that wool hair, the reuse sculpt kind of doesn't matter. When the two of them are together fighting, you don't notice those things. You don't notice those small details. Obviously, Hot Toys fans with a keen eye would, but your average consumer also isn't probably spending, combined, this would be what, 700 USD, like $1,000 Canadian. They aren't spending that kind of money. So I guess the attention to detail does matter. Sorry, I'm rambling. But yeah, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, pretty great. Pretty great, these photos here. Another angle of that. Another shot of the head sculpt. And here's another thing with this head sculpt. You know it's a reused one because it's like, it's not the pre-production head sculpt. It's the one that's been released because you can tell by the eyes. And there's been a constant thing with Hot Toys as of late. They're making the eyes just way too big. And you can tell his eyes look gigantic in comparison to how he should be looking. Like he should have a little bit, like his eyes should be a little bit more squinted. Yeah, the head sculpt is good, not great. Like it looks like Obi-Wan, but does look like Ian McGregor. Maybe like 75% of the way there. But that wool hair, you just keep it all sculpted or make it artisan and make it a little bit more affordable. But this weird like mix of the two is just so odd to me. Yeah, not a big fan of the artisan mixed with the sculpted hair. But the head sculpt looks all right. That base is sweet. I'm assuming the lava part glows. If not, that's a missed opportunity. But I'm assuming it does. But that's like all their money is going basically towards this diorama base. And for someone who doesn't use diorama bases or bases at all, it's kind of a wash. Like if I were to buy this Obi-Wan, I'd just sell the base, to be completely honest. Because I know someone would rather just have the base than the figure. Which maybe, I'd do. I'd explore that. And back to the beginning, back to this Obi-Wan and all of his accessories. So overall, I think the figure is an okay release. It's not an amazing release. Like I said previously in the video, he's almost just an accessory to Anakin. And anyone who's a completionist or just want to have that epic final battle will buy this Obi-Wan figure. So I don't know. For me, I don't really plan on getting this Anakin. I know, some viewers are like, I don't care what you want to buy, what you don't want to buy. That's just me. But Anakin and Obi-Wan, they kind of go hand in hand. You kind of almost have to have them. It'd be sweet if they had like a burnt up Anakin with like half his legs missing. That'd be kind of a cool figure. And then you can have him like strung up with all his like Vader parts. That'd be cool. But yeah, overall, Obi-Wan, not a big fan of the mixed artisan hair, the reused head sculpt. It's all right, but they could have just put in a little bit more effort instead of putting all that effort on the diorama base, which is a cool base. But if they just fixed that head sculpt or gave us a new one, I think this figure would be, a 9 out of 10, maybe a little bit more weathering on the outfit. But I think Hot Toys has been listening to fans as of late. So if you guys keep complaining online, I think they'll probably adjust the head sculpt a little bit. They did with the Obi-Wan from the Obi-Wan TV show. So maybe they'll do it with this Obi-Wan. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below if you plan on getting this figure, what your gripes are, or if you just love it. Maybe you just love this figure and you're happy to have it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I know it's very annoying hearing in every single YouTube video, but as a small YouTuber, it really, really helps out my channel by showing people that they like this kind of content and then showing it to other folks like yourself and help my channel grow so you can get some more free content like this.